Hey everyone! If you play fantasy football, you're probably familiar with this feeling. One tab open with the official site, another with some stats website, a third with your own spreadsheet where you're manually crunching numbers, plus a bunch of group chats and forums where people debate who to buy. Information scattered everywhere, and pulling it all together before the deadline is a real hassle. So in this video, I'll show you what I built to fix that, right inside a regular Google Sheet. Not a separate website, not an app you need to download or install, not some sketchy service where you have to sign up and hand over your data, a full fantasy football tracker that lives in one single Google Sheets file. Open it up, and it's all right there, in an environment you already use every day. And there's genuinely a lot packed in here. A full player database with over 60 stats, from points and form to XG, XA, and the ICT index, so you can make decisions based on numbers, not gut feeling. Your own squad builder, with captain, vice-captain, budget, and bench, where you can build a team from scratch or load your real squad just by its ID. Player-to-player comparisons, up to 5 at once, across every key stat. And comparing entire squads against each other, again just by ID, so you can see exactly how your lineup differs from a rival's or a friend's. There's also a custom ranking builder, where you can sort players by several criteria at once to find differentials nobody else is looking at. A scout module that suggests squad options based on rules you set yourself, formation, budget, player status. A full season fixture difficulty calendar, so you can plan transfers around easy and hard stretches. Your mini leagues, the Premier League table, and stats for every single game week, so you never lose sight of the bigger picture of the season. And it's all in one place, no more switching between a dozen browser tabs. Let me show you around. To open the dashboard, all you need to do is go to the Google Sheets menu, click FPL 2026-27, and then open Dashboard. Right after that, Google will ask you to grant permissions for the script to run. Don't worry about this window, it's a standard procedure for any script in Google Sheets, and all it does is read and write data within your own spreadsheet. You just confirm it once, and this window won't appear again. Now let's go through each of the tabs one by one. I'll leave timestamps under the video, so if you're interested in a specific section, feel free to jump straight to it. Let's start with the first tab, Player Stats. In the top left corner, you'll see a blue circle with an I, click it and a short guide pops up, explaining exactly what this tab is and how to use it. Now, the filters. There's a search box for player names, type a few letters and the list narrows down instantly. Next to it, a position filter, goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, or forward. Then a team filter, where you can pick a specific club, or show only the players from your own squad. There's also a status filter, available, injured, doubtful, and so on. And a price filter, where you can set a minimum and maximum player price. The table itself packs in over 60 stats per player, grouped into blocks: identity, FPL stats, price, transfers, attack, defense, ICT index, playing time, set pieces, and discipline. Click any column header and the table instantly sorts by that stat. And the first two columns, the number and the player, always stay in place, even when you scroll far to the right. Now let's move on to the My Team tab. This is where your squad lives. You can add your real fantasy football team by entering its ID in the field at the top left and clicking Load. After that, you can experiment with the lineup however you like, add or remove players, try different formations, and see how it plays out before making any real changes. You can also enter any other manager's ID and experiment with their squad the same way. Or you can start completely from scratch and build a team entirely on your own. Everything here is intuitive. To add a player, just click the plus icon on an empty card. A search window opens for that exact position: goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, or forward. At the top, there's a club filter, so you can pick a specific team or leave it on all clubs. There's a search field for player names and a price filter with minimum and maximum values. And the table itself shows the player's core stats, status, next opponent, price, points, form, and more. Click any column header and the list sorts by that stat. Once you've found the player you want, click the green plus icon and they're added to your team. By the way, you can also add a player without opening this window. Just click Add Player in the table on the right, and it works exactly the same way. To remove a player, hover over their card and an X will appear in the corner. Or hover over their name in the table on the right, and an X will appear there too. You pick the captain and vice-captain from the drop-down menus at the top. Only players in the starting lineup are eligible. Right next to that, in the center of the pitch, there's another little panel. It shows today's date, how many players you've added out of 15, and your team's total value. To bench a player, just check the box on their card, and they'll move to the substitutes bench. It's easy to notice, the card dims, and an orange SUB badge appears. And finally, two small but handy panels. Team Info is a live checklist that instantly tells you what's still missing for a fully valid team, a starting lineup, a captain, a vice-captain, or a full bench. And bench is a short list of all your substitutes, so you don't have to hunt for them across the whole pitch. Next up is the Compare Players tab. Here you can line up to 5 players side by side and see who's actually stronger across dozens of stats. At the top, there are filters to narrow down the search, team and position. Next to them is the Add Player field, where you type a player's name and pick them from the drop-down list. They're instantly added to the comparison. The players you've selected show up as cards below: photo, position, name, and price. If you need to remove someone, just click the X on their card. And the Clear All button on the right instantly clears the whole comparison, so you can start fresh. Now, the table itself. Stats are grouped into sections: identity, price and ownership, FPL points, attack, defense, ICT index, playing time, set pieces, and discipline. And here's the best part: every row is automatically color-coded from the weakest to the strongest value among your selected players. So at a glance, you can see who comes out on top for any given stat, without having to manually compare the numbers. Next up is Compare Teams. Here you can put any two teams side by side and instantly see how they differ. At the top, there are 2 fields for entering a manager ID, Team 1 and Team 2. Type in the number, hit Find, and the squad loads onto the pitch. On the left, there's also a My Team button. It instantly pulls in your own saved squad from the My Team tab, no ID required. And the Clear Team 1 and Clear Team 2 buttons reset each side individually. Each team is shown as a pitch with player cards, just like on My Team, with photos, prices, and status. Above each pitch there's a badge showing the team's name, formation, and total value. And in the top left, there's an Optimize drop-down where you can choose which stat to display on the player cards: points, form, price, and so on. And here's the best part: the off/same/diff toggle under the left team's badge. In same mode, players who appear in both squads get highlighted in green. In diff mode, players who only appear in one of the squads get highlighted in red, so you can instantly spot the difference in lineups. Next up is Custom Sort. This tab is for anyone who wants to build their own player ranking based on several criteria at once, instead of just sorting by one stat. At the top, there are the usual filters: position, team, and status, to narrow things down right away. But the main feature here is the sort builder on the right. Click plus Add, and your first step appears. Pick a stat from the drop-down, say ownership percentage, and use the arrow next to it to set the direction, highest to lowest or the other way around. You can add another step, then a third, and so on, up to 10 criteria. Here's how it works. The first stat sorts the list first and foremost. The second one only kicks in when two players are tied on the first stat, then it's used to break that tie. This works exactly like multi-level sorting in Excel or Google Sheets. You sort by column A first, and column B is only used to break ties within equal values of A. In the table itself, the first few columns are always fixed: number, player, position, status. After that, one extra column appears for each sort step you've added, showing that specific value. It's a really handy way to hunt for differentials or build your own player shortlist. Scout, probably the most interesting tab. Here you can build a squad suggestion based on rules you set yourself. At the top is the settings panel. Formation, pick a tactical shape, like 4-4-2 or 5-2-3. Mode, there are two options here. Max Start puts most of the budget into the starting lineup and keeps the bench as cheap as possible. Balanced spreads the budget more evenly across all 15 players. Optimize, which stat to build the squad around, points, form, value, and so on. Status, which player statuses are allowed in. By default, injured and suspended players are excluded. And budget, you can set a spending cap or turn it off entirely. On the left is your own team, the same one from the My Team tab. On the right is the generated squad option, with a badge on top showing its name, formation, and total value. And there's a small but really handy toggle here, the numbers 1, 2, 3 under the right team's badge. These are 3 squad variants with small differences, minor variations in the players, so you have something to choose from. And just like on the Compare Teams tab, there's an off/same/diff toggle under your team's badge, so you can instantly see who overlaps between your squad and the suggested one, and who's different. To sum it up, we're building the strongest possible squad based on the stat you choose, within the budget you set. If Max Start mode is selected, the bench players are the cheapest and weakest available, while the starting lineup is as strong as possible. If Balanced is selected, Scout tries to spread the budget evenly across all 15 players. And once again, there will always be 3 variants here, and none of them is the final word, they're just suggestions to consider. One more thing worth noting: before the season starts, some optimization parameters may show 0 values. That's normal. Scout works more accurately once at least 2-3 game weeks have been played and more statistical data is available. Now, the Matrix tab, the Fixture Difficulty Calendar. Here you can see every club's matches for the whole season ahead, and instantly spot where an easy stretch of fixtures is coming up, and where a tough one is. At the top there's a highlight filter. Pick a difficulty level from 1, easiest, to 5, hardest, and every other cell dims while the one you picked jumps right out. Next to it is the GW range, where you can narrow the table down to a specific range of game weeks. There's a search for a specific team if you're only interested in one club. And an ABBR/logo toggle, show the opponent as a short name or as the club's crest. Each team takes up 2 rows, the top one is home matches, the bottom one is away matches. The home opponent is written in uppercase, the away one in lowercase. If a club has a double game week, both matches fit into the same column, one on top of the other. There's also a separate FDR/fixture toggle in the top right. In FDR mode, you see the actual difficulty of the match, color-coded from green to red. In fixture mode, you see the real results instead. Finished matches are color-coded by outcome, win, draw, loss, and upcoming matches simply show the date and opponent. Hover over any cell, and a tooltip pops up with the date and score, if the match has already been played. Next is My Leagues. Here you can enter your own manager ID and see which leagues you're in and how your own team is doing. But if you want, you can also enter any other manager's ID, just to check how they're getting on. You type the manager ID into the field at the top and click Load. A manager card appears right away: name, team name, overall rank, team value, and a few other core stats. On the right, there's a Clear Manager button. It clears the field and resets everything that was loaded. Below that is a private/global toggle. Private shows your private mini leagues, with friends, co-workers, and so on. Global shows the big overall leagues that every manager is automatically part of. And then there's the leagues table itself: current rank, previous rank, movement shown with an up or down arrow, percentile, and cup progress, if that league has one. Click any league in the list, and it opens the full top 50 standings for that specific league. Next is the Table tab, the Premier League standings. It's simple: 3 tables side by side: overall, home matches only, and away matches only. The European qualification and relegation zones are color-coded, so you can instantly see who's fighting for the Champions League and who's battling to avoid the drop. And the last tab, GW Stats, Game Week by Game Week Statistics. Here you get a quick summary of every game week that's been played, who scored the most points, who was picked the most, who was captained or vice-captained the most often, how many transfers were made and who was the most transferred in player, plus the average and highest score for that week. It's a handy way to quickly recall how a specific game week went, without scrolling back through the whole season. And a few more small things at the top right of every tab. You'll always see the current game week here. In my case, that's game week 38, the final week of last season, since the new one hasn't started yet. Next to it is the theme switch, light or dark, pick whatever's easier on your eyes. And the refresh button, it pulls in the freshest data from the source, in case anything's changed. That's it. This was a quick overview of everything in this tracker: a full player database, your own squad builder, player and team comparisons, custom rankings, squad suggestions from Scout, a fixture calendar, your leagues, the league table, and game week stats, all inside one regular Google Sheet, with no third-party sites or apps needed. One more thing: leave a comment with what you liked, what you didn't, any questions you have, and what else you'd like to see in this tracker. Thanks for watching, and good luck to your favorite team.